name is Rin Longmaid. I'm a restaurant broker and consultant at Santa Rosa Business and Commercial in Santa Rosa, California, Sonoma County. And I'm the host and founder of this series, Deep Dish Live, where we explore the business of restaurants for restaurateurs, restaurant buyers and sellers, and the restaurant curious. And today we are live streaming from the beautiful Café Della Valle in downtown St. Helena in Napa County, California. I'm looking out the window at the iconic Highway 29. You wine lovers all know what that is. And I'm joined here, and you are joining episode 8. And today we're going to be discussing the buyer process. So it's restaurant buyers. Why is the process so cumbersome? And in specific, I'm going to be talking about the initial search phase, trying to find that restaurant for the buyer and from the lens of the buyer's experience. So Deep Dish streams once monthly, and we always explore a topic that is of interest to somebody who wants to buy or sell a restaurant or anything in the restaurant business. We stream from one of your favorite Bay Area restaurants, Napa County, Sonoma County, Marin County. We'll go South Bay. Streams once monthly, and every time that we meet, we have a gift card giveaway. So last month we streamed from Stockholm Restaurant in Petaluma, California, and they generously donated a $100 gift card, which we will talk about the winner, the recipient, at the end of this episode. But moreover, today you have the opportunity to win a $100 gift card from Café Della Valle. All you have to do is like and comment on this post during the live feed now, or you have 30 days, all up until the next time that we live feed, which will be in Novato, California. We'll be streaming live from Flower Child Bakery in downtown Novato. So like and make a comment on this post now or in the next month, and you could win a $100 gift card. Again, we'll be announcing the winner of this gift card from Stockholm at the end of the series today. So I want to introduce you to, you're super busy. Hey Jared, I fling him over here. The owner of Café Della Valle is Tim Terrell, and he owns another successful cafe down in Long Beach called Aroma di Roma. So he's down there, he splits his time between Long Beach and this beautiful cafe up in St. Helena. So today I'm joined by the manager, Jared Potts. Hi, Jared.
Nice to meet you. Hi, my name is Jared Potts.
He knew nothing about this, so he's just winging it. Oh, yeah. So Jared, the way it usually works is the host restaurant gives us a tour of the restaurant.
Okay,
so
no problem.
Ed will actually follow you around.
You got it. Why don't we go ahead and start out on the patio then? Let's see. We got 3 patio furniture out here. We try to get as much shade as possible. Anybody may sit wherever they like. Definitely do that as soon as you walk in here.
It's super beautiful too at night. They light up all these string lights. It looks very European.
Come on in. As soon as you walk in, if you want to go ahead and take a look, this is our front counter area. We usually take people's orders or we send people out to the chairs. We got our menus right here.
And Jared will be showing us some of the menu items at the end of the episode today.
Got it.
You might want to hit the gelato rack over there, and it's amazing. And then they have a slight exhibition kitchen. If you go to your right, you'll see the chef in the back over there. And then, Jared, you guys have a beer bar on the other side,
yes.
A tap bar, and then a private dining. Why don't you show us that?
Yes, we definitely do. This is more of like a wraparound bar. So this side we specialize in Italian cuisine, espressos, gelato, just about all that on this side. On the other side, more of a sports bar. So we got very nice local wines and draft beers that are all local. Here is some of our lattes right here. This is
We'll
one
come
of
back
our,
to these.
You got it. There is.
Sorry, guys.
See, we have a small wine display here. And this is where the bar side does begin. And as you come along the back here, you can see along near the TV is what we have on tap for wines there. Here is our draft beer section. We also do have seltzers as
So
well.
is that part of the
Alright.
once a meet?
And this is the end of our seating area. This is going to be our back lounge area. A lot of people like to sit back here if they have any meetings or any work to do.
But you go through this and then say, okay, what is this? Where are you?
So thanks, Garrett. We'll be joining you at the end of the series, probably in about 25 minutes.
Yeah, this should be
And
perfect.
they'll put up some meals and some coffee drinks for us
Alright,
to see.
sounds real good.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about my support team. Holly Hansen is the principal of Holly Hansen Public Relations, and she joins us remotely. If there's anything that needs to be answered on the post in the feed, or if I'm asking her to post anything that's pertinent to my content today, she'll be doing that from home. Hi Holly, thank you. And then behind the camera, I've got Ed Troxel. He's a live media consultant for business marketing. He's amazing. He helped me launch the series. Hi Ed.
Hey guys. You always want me to be in front of the
That's
camera.
great.
There you go.
So I want to talk a little bit about me. I'm a licensed broker in the state of California. I'm specifically a restaurant broker, and that's because I have years of experience in the restaurant industry. I'm uniquely qualified to take clients through the bulk transfer process of a restaurant. I also help clients with Type 41 beer and wine licenses and Type 47 and 48 full liquor licenses. I work all over the state of California. The main focus of my business is in the San Francisco North Bay, Marin, Napa, Sonoma County, deep in the heart of wine country. But I worked all over the state of California. I've had a 20-year career in the restaurant industry. I was a young chef, and I owned my own restaurant, and I also was an instructor at the Culinary Institute of America at Greystone, which is just up the street here in St. Helena. So I'm in my old neighborhood today. So I want to talk to you today. I'm going to pull up a couple of my notes. I'm talking to you today about the topic. I put a little subtitle in the topic that I really like. So, restaurant buyers, why does the process of finding the right restaurant opportunity seem so cumbersome to buyers? And the reason that it seems cumbersome is because it is. So there are a lot of hoops that buyers have to jump through to get information on restaurants they might be interested in. So the first thing that first-time buyers might do is they'll get on Google and they'll say, buy a restaurant in Napa County, or whatever region they want to operate. And boom, up will pop. Mostly what will first pop up are these business exchange websites, BizBuySell, BizBin, BizQuest. Behind that, LoopNet might pop up there, although LoopNet is for real property, not for business opportunities. And then behind that, restaurant brokers will pop up. So if you do Napa County, my website's going to pop up because I drive a lot of traffic to my website with increased SEO so that it will pop up. I do that by design. So after a buyer hits one of those websites, they're going to start scrolling through, and they're going to notice, frustratingly so, that the listings might include lots of information. What they're not going to include is the name of the business or the location of the business. And already that's going to make buyers cranky. Because what are buyers most interested in? What's the restaurant? Where is it located? So why is this? The reason why is it's paramount to sellers, as restaurant brokers, it's paramount to our sellers that the sale is kept confidential. And why is that? Sellers are concerned that if a sale gets out, well, first, primarily, restaurant operators, the last thing restaurant operators want is the community discussing the sale of their restaurant. They want them discussing the fabulous food, the great beverage program, the incredible service, the great outside seating. They don't want people discussing the sale of their restaurant. Also, most operators have the concern that if word gets out, it's going to damage their guests coming to dine at their restaurant. I've actually yet to see that happen, but it's a real concern of sellers. The other is quite frankly, employee retention. They're afraid that if their employees find out that the restaurant is for sale, that they're going to lose their employees. And right now, nationwide, it's difficult for restaurant employees because of the enhanced COVID and unemployment benefits. In our region in California, because of the increased minimum wage. Also regionally, we've had a lot of things that have happened over the last few years with fires that have pulled what normally might be restaurant workers, it's pulled them out into the construction community. Super competitive to get employees, so that's a real concern of restaurant sellers and why they want to keep the sale confidential. Another reason is, this is going to shock you, another reason that sellers want to keep it confidential is they don't want buyers walking into the cafe, walking up to the counter and start discussing the sale of the cafe. As shocking as that might sound, it happens. I've heard hair-raising events. So not only is the staff hearing about the sale for the first time from some stranger, the clientele is hearing about it, and the sellers back behind the counter are like, what do I do? So it's super important that we as restaurant brokers keep the sale confidential. Another reason that might not seem so obvious is the seller doesn't want their competitors to know they're for sale. So a lot of restaurant owners will jump onto these websites, these business exchange websites, to see what's happening in the market, or to see if their competitors are selling, or what would my restaurant sell for, or what's available right now. There's a lot of reasons that operators who have no intention on buying or selling anytime soon will jump on those sites, and sellers don't want their competitors to know they're for sale. So if the old adage on the success of restaurants, location, 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 if that adage is true, and for the most part it is, then the primary criteria for a buyer is what's the location of the restaurant? And that in restaurant sales is at cross purposes, complete cross purposes to the seller listing their business for sale, because their primary criteria to the business broker, the restaurant broker, is make my listing confidential, do not show the location. So it's a built-in tension point for buyers that they're not going to know the location of a restaurant when they're searching on sites, or even when they're contacting me as a broker initially. So let's pause. Now enter ... the non-disclosure agreement. What happens is, the way that buyers gain access to this information is they sign a non-disclosure agreement. Brokers make buyers sign non-disclosure agreement because it protects their sellers. It protects the confidentiality of the sale for the sellers. So when buyers hop onto these sites, most brokers aren't going to even talk to a buyer until they sign a non-disclosure agreement. An experienced restaurant broker is going to require it, and mostly because once the buyer signs the non-disclosure agreement, they're going to get very sensitive information, not just the location and the name. They're going to get 3 years of financial information on that restaurant, and we as restaurant brokers are not going to release that information to just anybody. So buyers, if you want to move through this initial process quickly, here's my advice to you. I'm giving you a dramatic pause. Sign the non-disclosure agreement. I can't even tell you, you guys, the links that buyers will go to not sign a non-disclosure agreement. I don't know why. They'll call me, they'll text me, they'll email me, they'll voicemail me, they'll blow up all my communications. I'll get a text that'll reference a listing I have, and then in all caps it'll say location ? Exclamation point. To me, that's a sign that it's a first-time buyer, because what they're saying is, hey, stupid broker, the most important thing for me is where's the location. And my response is, if you're new to this game, you're never going to see, unless the business is closed for business, or it's out in the community already, that the restaurant's going to close. You will never see the location of the restaurant until you sign a non-disclosure agreement. So if you want to save a lot of time, and typically, and this is another frustrating point to the buyers, each restaurant that they're interested in is going to require a non-disclosure agreement. The non-disclosure agreement is specific to that listing to protect the seller. So I think I'm going to take a small break right now, yeah? And if you're just joining me, you are smack dab in the middle of episode 8 of Deep Dish Live. It's the Facebook series that explores the business of restaurants for restaurateurs, restaurant buyers and sellers, and the restaurant curious. Today we're live streaming from Café de la Valle in Napa County, California, St. Helena to be specific. And as you know, if you've ever joined my series before, whenever I stream an episode, I offer a $100 gift card from the host restaurant. So if you want to win this $100 gift card to Café de la Valle, like and comment on this post, and you can do that now during the live feed or anytime in the next 30 days until Ed and I stream again in Novato, in Marin County, California, at Flower Child Bakery. And at the end of today's episode, I'll be announcing the winner of our last episode when we live streamed at Stockholm. I'll be announcing the winner of this $100 gift card. So let's see, where am I? All right. So besides protecting the seller's confidentiality, another reason that another reason that it's frustrating to buyers in going through this process is brokers, in addition to having buyers sign this non-disclosure agreement, they're also going to put in other criteria that's not specific, that's not important to the seller or the sale, but it benefits the broker. They might add fields that are going to vet the buyer so that the broker isn't wasting time with what they might consider an unqualified buyer. You guys, I'm here to tell you, in the restaurant industry, I don't pick and choose who the unqualified buyers are, because I might have a buyer who has only ever cooked in the kitchen of their grandmother, who's taught them their native Thai cuisine that kicked butt, and that person might have worked in a restaurant but has never owned a restaurant, never managed a restaurant, don't know how they're going to fund the restaurant, and they might be the next successful restaurant operator in St. Helena. That is not for me to decide. What it does, though, is it's going to cost me more time to engage with this buyer to see if they are going to qualify for the purchase and get through the landlord process. But that's on me. If I set up unnecessary barriers for buyers to benefit myself, I'm not in service to either my buyers or my sellers, and nobody knows that but me. But I'm here to tell you, if you work with me or anybody in the office at Santa Rosa Business and Commercial, we're not going to do it. So what will happen is, the way that people will contact me, they'll contact me through Biz by Sell, through other business exchange like BizBin, through my business website, through Craigslist, through Facebook, and the first thing I'm going to do is what? Their first thing they're going to do is sign the non-disclosure agreement. Again, just sign the agreement. But what other brokers might do is, inside of this software with the non-disclosure agreement, it's going to have, how much money do you have? What's your experience? How much working capital are you going to have? How are you going to fund the purchase? Are you going to pay cash? Are you going to get an SBA loan? What's your time frame for the purchase? Are you ready to buy today, yesterday, 3 years from now? All these questions are great questions, but they serve the broker, not the seller, not the buyer. And buyers can get quite frustrated with those questions, as you should be, but you should also know the answers to those questions, roughly. Another thing that happens, so when you come to me, you're going to automatically get a non-disclosure agreement. So another barrier for buyers is there's old school brokers that are still working with hard copy non-disclosure agreements. What that means, and Ed, this is going to be shocking to you, they have a PDF that they attach to an email that they're going to email you. So now the buyer's like, okay, what do I do with this? I gotta print it out, I gotta fill it out, and then what do I take a picture and text it to the broker, or do I scan it and email it back to the broker? Some buyers are technologically savvy and they have PDF software, so they can input the fields on that PDF, but you're officially doing the work of the business broker. I don't care how old school the broker is, they should have automated non-disclosure agreements because it serves the seller and it makes it easier for the buyer. So when you connect with me, it's going to go through my website software, my client management system. you'll get the non-disclosure agreement. Once it's signed, I'm gonna send you an email. Like, what do you think? The very first thing is we're gonna send the buyers out. They have the address, go drive by and take a look. Buyers are gonna know immediately when they start getting into that neighborhood, oh, this is good, no, it's no good. And there's no reason to engage the broker or the seller if the buyer already knows it's not a good fit. So if you contact me through Craigslist or Facebook, that doesn't go into my automation, but I can quickly go into my website, send you a fast link that's specific to the listing you're interested in, and boom, in 2 seconds you filled out that non-disclosure agreement and it's into me. No excuse for buyers not to fill out that non-disclosure agreement. If you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice. Here's a barrier to buyers getting access to brokers, and it's specific to the restaurant industry. And the reason why is most human beings, at least in our culture, harbor this dream to open a restaurant. Maybe because they love food, or they love cooking, or they love conviviality, or they have this incredible idea for a menu from the culture in which they were raised, or like I said, the grandmother that passed down these incredible recipes. So there are a lot of people that emotionally are invested in at least that first process, looking for a restaurant that might work for them. Like I said in my newsletter, my deep dish newsletter, 2% of buyers that contact restaurant brokers, 2% are going to move into the purchase of a restaurant. So it's a negative feedback. It's a positive feedback loop for negative behavior by a restaurant broker. We have to vet out buyers because there's not enough of us to go around. I've got 24 listings right now. I can't engage with the 3 to 15 buyers that will contact me daily on one listing. I just can't. So here's the other thing that happens. When a buyer contacts me and gets me directly, they're super excited because now they have access to the broker. They're talking to a broker. And they think that a commercial broker, a business broker, is going to work with them like a residential broker or a commercial real property broker. And they're going to say, oh, what happens is when a broker contacts me, you guys can hear me okay? It's kind of noisy. When a buyer contacts me, they go on this long list. I want 2,000 square feet. I want outdoor seating. I want it to be in St. Helena, California. They give me their laundry list of wants. I'm polite, I listen, but quite frankly, the only listings I can point that buyer to are listings I'm aware of in my office or that my colleagues have, because restaurant brokers are going to keep their listings confidential to other brokers as well, right? So I'm not going to, nor is any other broker, even if they tell you that they might be your buyer broker because they don't want you to go to another broker, they want you to buy one of their listings, they cannot act with you like a residential broker. Think about it, you guys. What do residential and commercial real estate brokers do? They take photographs of the location. They publish the photographs everywhere. They write down the address. It's on MLS, it's on LoopNet, it's everywhere. Their job is to get as much exposure on that specific listing as possible. That's the polar opposite of what restaurant brokers do. We'll put up an agnostic photo, a beautiful photo that lends to sort of a type of service, like it's quick service or it's full service or it's high-end, fine dining. But besides that, you're not going to know. So it's just set up in such a way that it's very difficult for restaurant brokers to represent buyers in the initial phase. So you're left with buyers. You're your best advocate. You search those exchange websites, you search my website, you search Santa Rosa Business and Commercial website, you do the initial non-disclosure agreement signing. But if a broker reaches out to you and you want to be working with me, tell that broker, I have another agent, I'll be getting back to you. What's another barrier? So I think I've really covered most of the barriers. I think the takeaway is threefold. One, your need, the buyer's need for location is at cross purposes with the seller's need for confidentiality of the location. So the buyer has to have a lot of patience in that initial search. You as a buyer, you might be a serious buyer. You're in a pool of a lot of other people looking for restaurants. You're tugging at a lot of time at that restaurant broker. Be patient with your restaurant listing brokers. They're not there to stand as a guard against the listing. They're just trying to do the best service they can to their sellers. And then last but not least, be your best advocate. Look at those websites, look at my websites, reach out to me and ask my advice. Ask my advice on a listing you might have. Oh, this is what gosh, I'm so glad I remember. Here's the deal, you guys. In California, it is legal for a broker to co-broker, meaning I often represent both buyers and sellers. So I talk about this at length in episode 3. There are a lot of restaurant brokers who will not co-broker with other restaurant brokers, meaning they take a listing for the seller, they're going to be the broker for the buyer too. So I might be able to find a listing for you that I know you might love, but that broker is not going to work with me. They'll work with me if the buyer pays the commission, but why should the buyer pay the commission when you know the seller's paying 10% of that sale or a minimum to the listing agent? And I have a lot of thoughts on this. Contact me directly, or maybe I'll do a small plate directly related to that. But restaurant buyers, though, that's why the initial process of finding your ideal restaurant is frustrating, because there are a lot of inherent barriers, not the cause or purpose of the listing broker. So now I have to hunt down Jared, who's busily working. You can tell it's super noisy in here. Oh my gosh, the food's up. Come on, Jared. Hey, Jared, we're ready for you. Oh my goodness, it looks like a panini. Oh, I hope he shares this with us. It looks like fritas. Oh my gosh, Jared's going to tell us all about it. So Jared, tell us everything.
So what you see here is one of our signature drinks, and here is going to be one of our regular lattes. This is going to be a Latin latte. It's actually going to be some of our chocolate with 2 shots of espresso with a little bit of cinnamon powder as well. Right here you got your arugula salad. You can never go wrong with that. Here is a very popular panini that we have on our lunch items and dinner items.
It looks like it's got some grilled chicken in it?
Yes, that is going to be called a Cubano panini.
Oh, wonderful.
And here is one of our sides. We got Parmesan parsley fries. This is ordered by just about everybody who walks through that door and sits for a while.
Oh, I can tell. The presentation's amazing.
Awesome.
So it looks like the salad is arugula.
Yes.
And
correct.
maybe some reduced balsamic vinegar?
Correct.
Okay.
And we also got some red onions and some cherry tomatoes.
Great. So, Jared, can you talk to me about what the current hours are at Café Della Valle?
Yes, we open up at 6:30, but if you're here any earlier than that and I see you waiting outside, I'd be happy to let you in right away. We work till about 9:30, and if you want to hang out a bit later, we're definitely willing to stay a little bit later. So whenever you want to stop by, we're always open. Just about 7 days a week we are. We never close, even on holidays. So we're happy to be
and
open.
you know.
Yes, we
Great.
are happy to be
Thank you,
open.
Jared, and I'm so sorry I missed Tim today.
Oh, you're totally fine. I'm happy to be here and talk to you.
Okay, you've done a great job.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
So I want to actually, Ed, stay here. I'll come right back. The winner of the Stockholm $100 gift certificate is actually my friend Ken Silvera. You guys might recognize Ken's name. He's the founding family of some of our most beloved boutique markets in Sonoma County. It used to be Fiesta Market in Sebastopol, now it's Pacific Market, and they have a second location in the Town and Country Center in Santa Rosa. Congratulations, Ken. I'll be reaching out to you to share your Stockholm $100 gift card. So you guys, Ed and I intentionally come on site at this time during the day because it's usually a little quieter. It's kind of noisy in here. When I come into Café Della Valle, this place is slammed. It's a super popular place in St. Helena. So when you're traveling in wine country this summer, make this one of your go-to spots. My name is Ren Longmaid. I'm a restaurant broker and consultant at Santa Rosa Business and Commercial. I'm the founder of this series, Deep Dish Live, where we explore the business of restaurants for restaurateurs, restaurant buyers and sellers, and the restaurant curious. I'll see you all in 30 days, give or take, on July 21st at 1:30, where we'll be live streaming from Novato in Marin County at Flower Child Bakery. See you then.